24 minutes past 1 p.m. You are live with me, Barry Musa, on the Africa Daily Show on Africa Global Radio. Our story, our growth, our future. And it is about time now for some good recipe, good news.
I love Africa Global Radio.
Okay, Epi is on standby for good news across Africa. Don't go away.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Right.
Yeah, so two good things. Like I did yesterday, I started with something, and I called it the homegrown technology.
Okay.
It's the same thing we're continuing with today. So today, first one, we're going into Kenya.
Right.
Yes, I know yesterday we were in Kenya, Nairobi, as we're still in Kenya, Nairobi. But then the next one will take us out of Kenya to Rwanda. So for the first one, we're talking about the Mpayer. Now, the Mpayer basically is a bridge between the mobile money payments like M-Pesa and then banks in Nairobi. Now, most people, small-scale businesses actually were not happy. In Kenya, were not happy. This was like in some years back, they were not happy with the banks. The terms of the banks were not favorable to them.
Right.
Also, they didn't really understand the legalities and all those things. I mean, when you mentioned the banks, Barclays, all those different banks that they had around them, it looked like an unfriendly mass around them. So they preferred something they could relate with.
Okay.
Individually, on an individual level, they had the M-Pesa, which was like a form of mobile money.
Mobile
And
money
when you
system
go
in
to
there, right.
when you go to Africa, basically, I think they are the ones leading when it comes to mobile money.
Eastern Africa, you
M-Pesa.
mean?
Yeah, but they started in Africa more.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. That's great. Right.
They
Okay.
started more than it came before it came to all these other countries, and it
Right.
looks like it's trying to grow. But they have a stronghold in it,
Okay.
and people use it to run their businesses. That's like the mode of payments for most of them.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
is because most of them will prefer to save in their M-Pesa account as compared to a bank account.
Bank and all of that.
Because they were not friendly. So the problem here was for small-scale businesses. How do they save? How do they make payments? And how do they receive payments? Because with the M-Pesa, you need to register with your personal account, your ID, and everything.
Okay.
So that means when payment is made, if it comes to the boss and it goes directly to your account. If you have to make payment to other people, you have to send to their personal account. Now, this made it difficult for them to track receipts, to know where they were going, for them to actually have and keep an inventory, track inflow and outflow of cash and all that.
Okay.
And it wasn't really helping them as well.
Right.
And the charges on each expense, was just, for some of them, was disturbing. So then we have the Mpayer.
Okay.
And Mpayer is not far from M-Pesa. They are linked to M-Pesa in a way.
More like a subsidiary?
Yeah, but
Okay.
then Mpayer literally works for small-scale businesses.
Okay.
SMEs.
Okay.
So this one gives you a list of all your transactions. It gives you receipts. It also helps that you have to create an account with them in the name of the business.
Right.
So when payment is made, it's not made to the name of an individual or to the account of an individual, but it's made into the business's account. Savings can be done and interest can actually grow on that.
All right. Very much welcome.
Yes.
Interesting
So
pattern to take.
this was a good thing. One thing the Mpayer people believed was all this is actually homegrown technology because it's coming from people in Kenya. One thing they believed basically was the fact that they wanted to create an opportunity for people to build, entire businesses and industries. So that's why the Mpayer came, and it takes off the load when it comes to financial transactions off the shoulders of small-scale businesses in Kenya.
Great. So that's more like similar to the mobile money system as well.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's find out what our next good news is about. More of it, as a matter of fact, the kiosk saving people in Burera district.
Yes. So Burera district is found in Rwanda.
Okay.
Yes. But we're talking about Mugotanga, and this is actually a town in the Burera district in Rwanda. And Mugotango is it's nice. It's surrounded by the plantation, the forest, everything is beautiful. It has tourist sites around it because of its ape or gorilla population.
Oh,
so
right.
people go there to look at the gorillas and things. But aside that, the town is it's cut off from the rest of the country.
Mm.
They don't have electricity, and it's a
Okay.
problem. And the form of technology the trend that actually seemed to be picking up over there
Mm.
was mobile phones. And you have to power your mobile phones. So people buy
Definitely.
phones, they bring it, they use it, but when the power runs out, the next spot to get actually to the next town is like over 45 minutes of walking.
Okay.
So you're really having to do a lot just to go charge a phone, and when it goes off again, you have to
You
do
have
that.
to.
So
Exactly.
it was really really disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
So Henry Nyakaranti,
Mm.
and sorry if I'm actually messing up your name. Sorry if I'm messing up your name. But
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Henry Nyakarundi.
Okay.
Yeah, we hope we got it right this time. Well, he actually is the founder of ARED, and ARED is the solar kiosk. Now, Harry went to school in the States,
Mm.
and he came back and decided, no, he's going to stay in his country. He's going to grow and do everything
Trying to
here.
make a change.
But he came to live in the town of Mugutanga and realized that anytime he had to power his cell phone,
Okay.
he had to drive all the way home in the city, power it, and come back.
Nah.
Now, this movement
cannot be
was
sustained.
costing fuel,
Exactly.
time. It just was distressing
Exactly.
from him.
Exactly.
So he decided to sit and think, what can we do? We don't have electricity.
yeah.
The only form of technological advancement there was the phones, and everybody had a phone, and people were excited. It was a form of entertainment.
Mm.
I mean, everybody finishes their chores and they just come and pick their phone and talking on the phone, then it dies, and then they have to walk a long
Right.
time.
Right.
So he brought about the solar kiosk. It's called the ARED solar kiosk, and
Okay.
it charges. If it's fully set, you have like about 30 mobile phones at a time.
Mm.
It has solar panels. It has wheels beneath it. So he's made it into a franchise. The people who actually do purchase some, or those he's in business with, for the
Okay.
towns he's distributed it to,
Uh-huh.
they just wheel it into the market center,
So
or they
everybody
just move it around town. You see them.
has
you
a
give them-
less.
Exactly. And the good thing about it is, in case the person wheeling it has to pack it somewhere, go use a washroom or eat or relax or something,
Okay.
they can lock it up.
Right.
So nobody steals anybody's phone. All this is done at a fee. So they also make some amount of money. But
Okay.
this was a good innovation. This was something that he brought up with. And I believe it's a great way of bringing change to the country. Because one thing Henry realized was the fact that 60% of the people in the country had cell phones, but less than 15% of them had access to electricity in the town in which he found himself. So the ARED kiosk was something that really, really worked for him. And people are wondering, okay, what happens if it rains? What if the sun doesn't shine? Then it means
Right.
they can't charge their
Charge
phones.
the phones. Yeah.
He designed a system that it actually has its own lithium batteries that power it.
Okay.
So it can run on its own power for like 2 days straight without sunlight or anything. But what he
Okay,
wants
right,
to do
right.
is the solar is what they use to directly charge people's phones
Mm.
during the day.
Okay.
Yes,
Right.
it has a light by it, and it's helping people who he's in business with.
Mm.
It's helping them actually make some amount of money because
Okay.
they invest, they also they sell, people
Right.
come and charge at a fee.
Mm.
Before he's done, at the end of the day, he's also made some money. But this is technology, and this is not the only thing that ARED is doing. We'll be bringing you more things under the ARED business name, but this is a great innovation they have going on there.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Super.
I keep saying that we need to find a problem
Mm.
and bring about a solution.
Solution.
One that impacts.
Right. That's a brilliant innovation that he came up with, and I believe this should also serve as at least a signal to the government, the central government, to also take a look at electricity issues in the Burera district.
Yes, and one thing I quickly want to add with regards to the Mpayer that I mentioned earlier, the first story I actually spoke about. One thing I want to mention is yesterday I spoke about the hub, the
Okay.
iHub or the Break Hub that is actually in Nairobi, and they're helping people develop and come up with ideas. I think I'll throw more light on it, but the guy who actually came up with the Mpayer account, he was part of the people there. He used to go there, and they just used to sit and brainstorm ideas.
Oh, so
and
he's a
they
product
develop
of that.
he's actually a product
Oh,
of that.
wow.
When
That's
it comes
great.
to the iHub, there's so many
Okay.
innovations they've brought about that is actually going on. The Moja,
Oh, great.
there are a lot of things going on.
Yep. As she mentioned, we will be bringing you up to speed with developments in this, life-changing technologies that all of these geniuses are coming out with. I love the fact that the one who came up with the kiosk saving, after studying in the United States, he decided to come back home and then, just do something. And here it is, making headwaves and impacting positively in the lives of its citizens. Okay, that's all we have for Good News Across Africa today. Great. Log on to AfricaGlobalRadio.com for more positive, inspiring news from across the continent of Africa and, of course, in the global African scene. 34 minutes past 1 p.m. We're riding all the way to 3 p.m. GMT.